And welcome back. So today I had a customer, we had a delivery. Look at this, we're offloading one of our containers. So we're offloading our container out here in the car park. Anyway, and we had a customer rock up just now, and I was having a joke. I was like, oh, I got to build a BYD Shark canopy and put it on my car. Anyway, customer rocks up, tradie, has had issues getting the OEM canopy on his car in time, and he's a sparky and it's pissing down rain. He's like, mate, can you get a canopy on my car today? And I said, yeah, to be actually honest with you, I potentially can. It's 12 o'clock. We're gonna try and pre-wire it for him. We're gonna do a quick YouTube video on, you know, your basics on how to assemble it, what to do, and to get this on your BYD Shark. And this video will sort of cross over to most of your vehicles. So your Alpha, your Cannon, they're gonna be very similar because this canopy, they're all very similar. They are slightly different, so we do make changes so they don't foul on different areas. It's aluminium Flatpak canopy, full central locking. You can put a roof rack on top. It's got reverse lights, it's got brake lights, it's got an internal light. However, just remember, this thing comes flat pack. So look at this. Got Nico over here, he's just opened up the first box. So this first box here, you got the roof, right? So we're gonna get the roof on the ground. Then we're gonna open up the next two boxes. Now it's gonna have the sides, the back, and the front, okay? Now we're gonna get that opened and then start assembling it on the ground. Once we get that assembled on the ground, I'm gonna get two fitters on it and we're gonna pre-wire it. So we're gonna pre-wire it for the BYD Shark. Okay, so we've got Oleg and Nico laying everything out now on the ground. So this is what it comes with. You get some silicone sealant. You even get a caulking gun in the kit as well. So you get a caulking gun, silicone, you get some clamps. Now just remember, these are the new kits that come with the caulking gun and the silicone. The old kits don't come with that. So if we have old stock, you may potentially not get that. So just remember, you might need a caulking gun and some silicone. If you do, run down your nearest Bunnings, I'm sure they'll have it in there. So you got some clamps, some bolts for the clamps. All right, this is another bracket. So this bracket here will be how it mounts to the vehicle from memory. They've done one of these, but that's all right, winging it. This is the side bracket as well. So you got 4 brackets for internally. That's your roof rail that ties it all together, okay? And that's where you can mount a platform onto, as well as all your nuts and bolts and pieces in the kit. These are your shims. They're like a big washer that goes in between to distribute it when you're doing up the nut and bolt. You don't want a little M6 nut and bolt, obviously, just squishing the panel together. So this distributes it and pulls it and clamps it in all together. Then we got some sealant, some mastic sealant there and some rubber sealant there. That there is a rear brake light, I believe. And then we got the canopy laid out here on the ground. So this is your rear door. The light faces back, so it's not blinding you when you open your rear door, which is really nice. Now this is all your wiring. See how it's all just bare end tail? So you're gonna have to wire this all up. So if you don't have any wiring skills, I suggest not doing this and paying someone that knows how to do it, because it doesn't include any wiring. It just becomes with a bare tail. You will need to join this to a relay, because these are your reverse lights. I mean, you don't have to hook them up, but if you want it all hooked up, you're gonna have to hook up the reverse lights to a relay. We normally hook it up to a relay in the car, so when you select reverse, you can use the reverse lights. This will be hooked up to a switch normally on the left side of the tub. We'll hook that up. This is your central locking, positive, negative. So that'll have to run back to the factory central locking on the BYD Shark. If you have another vehicle, you'll also, same thing, you'll have to hook that up to your central locking, okay? So you'll have one of these on each door, 1, 2, and 3 over here. So they'll all get integrated back to your factory central locking. So it'll unlock and lock with the car's remote. All right, so that's the wiring basis of what you need to do. So we're gonna start assembling it. You got your 2 doors, and this here is an air vent, all right? So this is a pressurized vent. So when you're traveling on dirt roads, this will pressurize it and make sure that the dust, it limits the dust coming in to the canopy because it is pressurized. This is what it looks like on the inside. So it's got like a little vent there to stop the water coming in. Okay, so that's your vent. It'll put positive pressure into here and push it back out so that the dust doesn't come in. So there you go. Now what's this for? This is if you don't have a shower, your boss can wash you at work, okay? So this here is little dust foam that goes in here. You're gonna have fun getting this in here, but you have to get that foam into there, all right? So this is how you get it in. I've already been squashing it in. You just feed it in. All right, like so. And that foam is in there now. Okay, so that's your little filter. All right, just to stop any excess dust, but it still puts positive pressure in there. So there you go. Don't tell me you can't do that, because you can. Okay, you do get a basic installation manual on how to assemble it, okay? But we'll quickly run you through everything in the manual, what it says in Australian English. So let's do it. Okay, so Nico's got the rail. He's already siliconing all around each one of these studs coming up, okay? So he's gonna run a bead of silicone around each stud. Don't be shy, because you don't want this thing to leak, obviously. So around each one of those the whole way along, and then we're gonna do it on both sides. And then once he finishes putting silicone on that, we're gonna start assembling the canopy. Okay, so we've got this now all sealed up, and we're gonna lift this panel up, right? We're gonna lift this up, and we're gonna line that up with this. I'm gonna try and do that with one hand. Okay, so we're gonna line it up, like so. That goes in like that. All the sealant will come out, that's fine, because you can clean that up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure when we put this panel on as well, we're gonna run some sealant along here now, just to make sure that this is all sealed up as well along the whole panel. We do the opposite side, like so. Run some sealant along here as well. Okay, so now the boys are gonna put the door, so we've slid the door on, and then we're gonna put this bracket on now. So this here is like a reinforcement panel that goes through there, all the way along. Then Nico's gonna start putting the nuts on each one. I can do them up. Make sure you don't over tighten them, because you'll snap the studs off. You don't wanna do that. Okay. Okay, so that's nice and secured on there now. Now we can go and do the other side. Okay, so now we're just installing the foam tape along here. Nico's putting all the foam tape along there. Now, after we put the foam tape on here, what this does is it creates a seal. However, when we finish assembling the canopy, we also seal externally as well, just to make it extra watertight. Okay, so you've got this foam and then a sealant running around the external outside. All right, so we've just put the rear cab on. Okay, so this is the back that goes onto the rear of the cab. All right, so your foam tape's on, and everything's gonna line up. You've got your two studs there, sealant pouring out because I've put heaps of sealant, which is good. So we'll put two nuts on that, and then what we'll start going through is buttoning all this up with our little, like a big washer sort of thing to distribute the load when you're clamping this all together. Okay, I'm gonna start by putting that bad boy down there on. All right, trying to do this with one hand and trying to film at the same time. So we're gonna put that down there. All right. Beautiful. So that's secure now, okay? So you can sort of let that relax, and then we can start putting all our nuts and bolts through 1,000 of these nuts and bolts. You're gonna stand in here, try and stand on the ribs and not on the actual roof itself. That'll save you from damaging the roof, okay? So just stand on the ribs. This is the ribs, yeah? Okay, so these are your little flat plates, okay? So they're gonna go one on either side. All right, let's keep going. Let's go, Nico. Let's see your skills, mate. Oh, would you look at that? Straight in, not quite. Having trouble finding the hole there, mate. Let me help you, all right? Okay, so it's all assembled now. So we've put obviously the rear and the front, well, front and rear, whatever you want to call it. This is the rear door above the rear tailgate, and then that's the rear of the cab, okay? So we've assembled it all, you can see here. So just make sure when you're installing it, you'll only use these on either side. Here, 2, 3, 4 in the center there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there's 9 on each side, front and rear. And then all the rest you just put flat washer and a bolt on this side, and then on this side you just put a nut. Nico's going around and doing them all up, making sure they're super tight. Okay, so now I'm just going to run this seal around the outside of this canopy, okay? So you can also come with like a mastic. You can use the mastic if you want. You can actually put the mastic behind this if you wish, like internally. But I'm going to put this rubber seal all the way around nice and evenly. Okay, you want it to look good, so make sure it's even and don't put it on the edge. It has to sit in just a little bit, otherwise it doesn't look very nice when it squashes down, okay? Okay guys, so what I've done is before I seal all these side seams, I've actually put silicone. I lifted this seal and just put silicone under each corner. Okay, so on the 4 corners, so that the water doesn't run down here and then go dribble down there, because you're going to seal this, but now it's sealed underneath as well. Okay, so that's done on all 4 corners. So that's all pretty much done now. The seal's on, and now we're going to quickly wire it all up. Quickly, I say quickly, there's going to be 3 of us sending it. Let's go. So we've got central locking on that door, and this rear door here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to extend these cables, and then we're going to join them all to one. So all 3 red and blacks are going to join together neatly, okay? Then we're going to put Coro on it. Then we're going to have a tail coming down this side of the door, which is on the left side when it flips the right way. So it's going to come down, it's going to tuck in, we're going to drill a hole in the cab. Then, now this customer obviously sprung this on us last minute. So we started this job at around 12 o'clock today, all right? And it's now, there's been sort of 3 people nearly working on this, and we're at 2.5 hours, okay? We're gonna try and get as much done on it as we can today and get it obviously on the vehicle. We're gonna get the central locking hooked up. However, we might not have time to get the brake light, the interior light with the switches and relays and reverse light, everything hooked up, okay? So that might be at a later stage. So we've already explained that to the customer, because he just rocked up today and said, is there any chance, I don't know who you guys are, never been here, but I'm just gonna, you know, wing it and see if I can get a canopy. And we were actually, none of the fitters, because a few of my other fitters are on holidays today. So I said, these boys were meant to be working on my car. So anyway, and Rico's car behind me on his Tank 300. I said, no worries, we'll try and get a canopy done for you today, and I'll also make a YouTube video of it, so everyone knows how to sort of install a Flatpak Canopy on a Canon Alpha and Canon BYD Shark, you know, whatever, what have you. Now this is going to be like, so this is our, I would say not our premium canopy. We've actually got a premium canopy coming very shortly. We're designing it for the BYD Shark. It's going to have full central locking. It's going to have like racking inside. It's going to be sick. But that's going to be part of our premium, okay? Now this is like sort of like, you know, I wouldn't say it's budget, but it is budget, because you have to pre-wire it all yourself. The other one's going to be plug and play. This is, you know, a $3,000 canopy. It's not a $5,000 canopy. The other one's going to be a $5,000 canopy. It's going to be really, really good quality, okay? So this is still good quality, made of aluminium, powder coated, won't rust. We've sold many of them for Canons and Canon Alphas, but you've got to assemble it. So there's a lot of assembly involved in it. As you can see here, the boys are assembling it. There's a lot to do. So you can see here, the boys have twisted the wires together, they're extending it. Then we're gonna join each connector, extend the wires, and I'll stop talking and start helping them. So let's go. Alright, so we're getting the BYD Shark in. We're nearly finished wiring up the canopy. Now just remember, we're going to have to seal these factory holes up. So in the BYD Shark, as well as many other utes, Canons, Canon Alphas, whatever ute you have, they all have holes. So there's going to be all gaps here, so we're going to seal this up as best as we can through here. Anything under here, any gaps on Alphas and that, Canons, there's heaps of gaps here. This one, the tub liner, actually seals it quite well. But you just want to run sealant along there. Any holes or any gaps. So we'll go around and just check it all, seal that up and get this canopy on here. Let's go. So seal in there is all nice and sealed. But unfortunately, there's a lot of plastic. So even though we've sealed it as best as we can, still probably reckon there's going to be water potentially can get under this plastic and leak through here. But we'll see how that goes. You got to remember, you guys got to remember, it's still a ute and it's still a tub. So we can seal it as best as we can. but you always might get leakage. And you got to remember, this ute is also different to most other utes, because a lot of other utes don't have a plastic lip like this, okay, with cracks and gaps all along here. The only way, if you ever wanted it to make it full IP rated, would be to pull all the plastic off, unbolt everything, silicone the whole shit out of everything, silicone the tonneau cover or the canopy that you're putting on here on it as well. Just seal everything. I mean, and then you still potentially could get it to leak, because you gotta remember, this thing shakes a lot and vibrates and it might crack the seal. But anyway, we've done as best as we can, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so we're gonna pull these off now. This is what's gonna hold your canopy in the tub. So this is gonna go onto there, like so. Then your canopy is gonna mount on that, so we're gonna undo those two. And then we're also gonna undo that one up there. 1, 2. Now the bottom one is going to be a lot harder, because that has your bed liner all over the nuts. Okay, so they're a 10 mil, I believe. Is that a 10 mil? I can't. Yes. 10 mil. So yeah, you're gonna have to undo the 10 mil, and normally we get a socket and whack it over with a hammer, and then undo it with an impact. Pull the top one off. All right. Now I'm gonna pull the bottom one off. So you just whack a socket on there, work it nice and deep, and then use the impact gun to get it off. With a bigger gun. Okie dokie, guys. So that's all off. Now what we're gonna do is put on the bracket. So I'll just do that now. Okay, so your bracket is gonna mount like so. Your bolts in your toe down point is still gonna go back in the same spot. Reuse the factory bolts, like so. Okay, then your 2 torques are going up the top here. Make this the right height, okay? Just below level, so I can put some tension on it. That. This is all mounted up now. All right, that's the right height. You can see that, guys. Okay, and then we're gonna go and put this side on now. Okay, so all the brackets are on, as you can see. Now, depending on the canopy where it sits, if it's too tight against the tailgate, we might need to lift it, so these brackets are adjustable. And same with the front. All right, so that's all ready to go. 1, 2, 3, and 4 brackets are on here, and the canopy. We'll do the final sealing on the car, okay, tomorrow, but we're gonna get it on here now. Let's go. All right, we just cleaned all this as well. So this here, we're gonna put the remaining seal that Nico's got here, and we're gonna put that along here, and that's just gonna seal the rear door. Okay, that's the same seal as we've used around all here. Okay, you can see how I've put that seal, you can't even see it. That's why I said, remember I said make sure you put it in, because when you put it in, you don't see the seal and it looks nice and neat. If you put it too close to the edge, you'll see the seal coming out and it looks shit. All right, but that's how the canopy fits. You can see along there, it fits really well. So it's contoured to the tub. All right, it's also on a slant to match the rear, and this is all wet, so it probably looks a bit weird in the light, but anyway, we've just wiped it all down, and you can see it matches the rear window. Okay, so this is how you do it. And Oleg's just going around manually hand tightening everything, making sure everything's tight again, okay, before we seal it all up. So we're going to come around here and obviously silicone the whole way down here, the whole roof, front and rear. Okay, so going to do here as well. To get the central locking working, we're going to have to run the cables. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drill a hole up here. Once we drill a hole up here, we'll be able to put this whole tubing through here. Pop the rear tail light out by removing that bolt there and another bolt down here. So we'll move those 2 bolts. This will pop out to the side, so you just give it a bit of a whack like that and it'll pop out. Then you'll route the cable all the way to the front here. Now we're going to have to make a patch harness, plug and play harness that'll go in behind this kick panel. To get access to that, you're going to have to obviously pull a bit of this weather stripping off. Once you've done that, just be careful, there's all gooey stuff you can see there. I'm trying to get that on you because it's disgusting and it's like really sticky. Then you'll stick your hands underneath and you'll just pop this trim. Okay, pops off like that. Got access to this now. Once that's done, we're gonna do the front one now, exactly the same thing. Stopping it, you can always pull it up. All right, now we gotta undo this panel here, okay? So to undo that panel, get your hands behind here, you're gonna pull the panel off, all right? All right, so that's given us access to the panel now, and then now we'll be able to access our central locking. Okay, so this is the harness you'll need to get. That plugs straight into there. Now it can be quite tight, okay, when undoing it. So you need to push down, see this little clip here? You push that in and then you pull it out. However, it's pretty tight, so I got a pair of pointy nose pliers on here, pushed it down all the way and then pulled it out easy as. And then our daisy chain harness will plug straight into here. Okay guys, we're connecting the lighting. So see this interior light over here? That's the same as this side over here, okay? So what we're gonna do is, we've figured out we're gonna make a patch harness. So the harness, you'll unplug this and you'll plug it in behind here. Down under there, there'll be a cable coming down, okay? And that'll be where it'll plug into. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you this. Under here, we're gonna get under the car, okay? So we're gonna crawl underneath. Let's get under here, nice and comfortable. Okay, so see that cable there? You need to unplug this. At the top of it, there's a little thin clip that you unclip. Once you've unclipped it, that's where you're gonna plug our patch harness in to pick up the factory light for the interior of the tub, okay? So the inside of the tub, we're gonna plug our new canopy light into there. So just remember that, guys. Okay, so we're on to the next wiring now. So we're gonna hook up the brake light, which is gonna go into here, back of the tail light. We'll have a harness to plug into the tail light, and then you just connect the positive, negative to that, which is gonna be really easy. As well as down here, these are where the reverse lights are. Now, it's got two reverse lights up there, so you're gonna wire them up separately. One reverse light to this side, and one reverse light to that side. That's gonna have about a 0.1 amp, so 180 milliamp hour draw per side, additional to the factory lights, okay? So it's bugger all. Now, this is what the connector is gonna be, okay? We've joined it on here. It's got a little tab on it that you're gonna push down, and that's at the top of the light around here, okay? So you stick your hand in from the back, and you undo the tab and unplug it, and then you're gonna plug the new harness into that. So we're gonna give, you'll be able to buy the kit, the wiring kit separate to the canopy. It'll be one for this side, one for that side, and then run up to the canopy. So there you go. All right, all the wiring's done. Now we're just doing our final checks. So make sure you check all these. These are the strikers, all right? So you need to adjust these in or out depending on where your door is sitting. Also WD-40 all your locks. Now these come standard with a bolt that sticks down. It sticks down like that with an Allen key. You can undo it, we remove them. The reason is, if you have them on there, you actually have to have the handle half cocked like that before you can close it. Otherwise, the latch will get stuck on here. You don't need them, they're like an extra security, but you've already got latches on the sides already holding it, okay? So you don't need that. That's not needed because these are all electronic, okay? So we remove them. You can keep them on there if you want. It's a pain in the ass to close. I prefer to remove them. If you remove them, then you can just turn your handle, shut it, slam the door shut, make sure that all the doors are locking, okay, on either side, and that's obviously going to adjust it in or out, that lock, okay? Now you got to find the happy medium. You can't go too far in as it won't catch, and you can't go too far out as it'll stick out way too much. All right, so that's what he's doing now with an Allen key. So the Allen key goes in this side here, and then the spanner goes on this side, and then you can adjust it in and out. And we'll just check this one now. Oh, and this is the little dick I was talking about. So we're going to pull that off now. So normally it has a plastic around it. This one doesn't because we've already removed half of it. But he's just going to get an Allen key on here like this. Pull this off. Then you just undo it and catch that bit so it doesn't fall. That's it. And that's what you're removing from it. All right. And that goes in the bin. Now we can turn this, shut that, slam that. That one can go in a little bit. That one's good at the back. Make sure they're all locking. All right, so Oleg, just this corner here, just go in about probably 2 mil, 3 mil, and then we'll adjust that. We've also siliconed it all. So that's all siliconed along there now. Just clean up any excess. We'll clean that all up now. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Central locking on the BYD Shark canopy. And our interior light is now also added to the car as well. So how that works is, right, so it's attached to this now. So we've connected it to that. All right, so now when you turn this on, it comes on all 3 lights. Brake lights connected. Oh, look at the reverse lights. They're bloody bright. And another thing is, because we've also tapped into down here, which is your reverse light, but remember when you turn the interior lights on in your tub, all right, your tub lights on, this actually lights up the ground, remember? Okay, so now when you switch it on, right, so you'll get your 2 foot lights on either side. You will also get your interior lights all working, all 3, but you'll also have the reverse lights working because they're hooked up to where the reverse light's on and when your interior. So if he turns this off now, they'll turn off as well. So turn them back on, turn them off. So you'll have outdoor lighting as well. So you won't only have your reverse lights, they'll also act as a lighting. So when you're working on you can have them on when you're working on your car, and you'll have lighting down in your workbench here. How cool's that? So there you go, savage. And in here is where you're gonna tap your other harness in for your brake light, okay? So we're gonna have a harness for brake light, park car, and everything's gonna be connected with a piggyback tail coming out, all right? So you'll be able to connect your brake light to there. So your brake light connects to there, your reverse light connects down here, your interior light will connect behind here, okay, from underneath the car, and then your central locking will connect in here. So there you go, there's a little quick rundown. But we're just going to finish this off now and then give this car back to the customer. Okay, so the cable is now routed up neatly all the way up here, cable tied all into there. Okay, so that's where our harness is going to go. All right, all the way back down. You'll come out the back grommet. There's a grommet at the back of the car behind here. Okay, behind here, you'll come out underneath the car, up underneath, feed it all the way up through here. We've brought all the cables up. There's one hole in here. Everything is coming through there. Everything is under the car, neatly tied away. This cable here is the one going to the reverse lights, okay? And then you've got this one here, which is going back to the car, the central locking. And this one here going along here is the one going up to here to the interior light, to the factory interior light, okay? So there you go. That's all routed nice and neatly. It's all mounted up. That's what it looks like. Fit it up. Reverse lights. Turn the reverse lights off. There you go. Brake light. Turn the brake light off. Look at that. Beautiful. This is what it looks like on your BYD Shark. All opens like this. That's how it opens. Now, cool thing is, once you unlock this, interior lights come on, as well as that, as well as your workbench lights. So say for instance you're working here and you need that on, those lights come on with this switch, okay? So look at that. So off, on, off, on. How cool is that? As well as they come on when you're reversing, as well as a reverse light. So when you select reverse in your car, they'll also come on. So see that? He selected reverse, the interior lights have gone off. Put it in park. See that? How cool is that? So I'll show you that again. I'll turn the interior lights on. Select reverse, interior lights go off, and the reverse lights are on. So I hope that helps you install our Flatpak Canopy on your BYD Shark. I mean, this video will pretty much is exactly the same for most of your cars. So like your Cannon Alpha or your Cannon. So it's very, very similar. You've also got, so you got full central locking, as well as your roof rails in case you want to put a platform on here and match it up to our front platform. You can do a platform on the roof. Just remember when you finish installing it, I want you guys to go around and check all the Allen keys because they come it's all loose, okay? So make sure you tighten every single Allen key bolt you can find so nothing rattles loose. So go around, just check it all, WD-40 everything, and that's how it looks. So route your cables like this, looks really neat, like that. So there you go. We'll have all the harnesses that'll come with our canopy. So we've decided not to sell them separately. We're actually gonna make it as a kit. So when you order a canopy from us, you'll get the harness with it. So we should have the harnesses in stock within a week. When you buy a Flatpak Canopy, it will be included in the kit, okay? And the price will be reflected for the kit. There you go. Anyway, you can order that at savagetech.com.au.